If you're looking to improve your pistol squats or even learning a pistol squat, make sure you guys stay tuned. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a pistol squat progression video. So take this as episode 1. We're gonna be going through some of my favorite mobility exercises to help get you towards your first pistol squat, as well as my favorite beginner exercises in order to get you towards your first pistol squat. So first, if you guys have a foam block, make sure to grab that, or any type of elevated surface. It can be like a small block, or it can be even like a bumper plate or anything like that. So all we're gonna do is take our block, we're gonna place it on the ground, vertical, so that way our foot can go on it. We're gonna take our foot here, we want knee stacked right above our foot, right here, and we're just gonna lean forward, trying to increase that ankle flexibility. So ideally, there's always a rumor where it's like, oh, don't let your knee go past your toe, but for this exercise, we do wanna get a nice big lean so that we're getting lots of flexion in that ankle. We're gonna hold it here, and then return back to neutral, and then rock back again, and hold. The most important thing here is that we're not letting our heel lift, and that we're just sitting in the stretch and coming back. So we're gonna go for about 3 more. So 2 and 3. Again, with all type of stretching, if you ever feel something tight or sharp, make sure you're not working in that range of motion. You can even put your hands on the ground if needed to give yourself a little bit more assistance and alleviate some of that pressure on that foot. So of course, we do it on both sides. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna show you on one side. The next stretch that we're gonna do is gonna be for our glutes, because a lot of people have tight glutes, which is a big inhibitor when it comes to pistol squats. So we're gonna go into our pigeon. People who are tight in their pigeon, you'll notice that you only can get your heel super close to your body in order to keep straight hips and have that back hip down. Ideally, the looser your glutes are, the more flexibility you have in things like squats. So especially for a pistol squat, you wanna definitely make sure you're loosening up those glutes. Ideally, what a proper pigeon would look like: front foot out in 90 degrees, back knee is down facing the ground, hips are nice and square, and then you're getting full contact with that back glute, and then this hip flexor, or this hip, is facing down, and our shoulders are nice and square. We're not opening up to the side at all. We're not having to sit up super high. So holding here, you'd hold this stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. So hold it for 10 seconds more, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So again, you do both sides for your pigeon. Another way you can modify this exercise is using, again, that foam block. We can always put it underneath our hip, and then we can sit on it this way. So this just gives us a little more of a rise in that one side, but we're still able to push this back leg down and have square hips. So this is just a modification if you are someone who's relatively stiff. Another modification for pigeon really quick as well. I'm just gonna grab my box. You can be kneeling, so we get a little bit of height, putting that front leg on the box, and then pushing down this way. Again, because our back leg isn't fully extended or forced out, it is a little bit less pressure, and you get still a good stretch in your glute while maintaining good form. So 3 types of pigeon variations, the first one being the most advanced, and this one being more of the beginner. Taking away our box. The next stretch we're gonna do is just getting into our range of motion for our squat. So ideally, we're gonna go into a squat, feet facing forward, just outside of our hips. We're gonna try to go down as low as we can and sitting into the bottom of our squat. If you're someone who's relatively tight and you feel a little bit of pinching in your hip, again, we don't wanna be working in that range of motion, and using something like a bar or something stable to hold onto might be like a good modification for you. So grabbing the pole here, again, feet shoulder width apart, we're gonna come down, and you can hold on to this and lean backwards a little bit, which will allow you to get better depth while still maintaining good form. Our feet are flat, and we're just trying to sit in this bottom position for about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Another way you can modify the deep squat is, again, using our little yoga block and using this as a tactile reinforcement. So making sure when you're going down, if you're like, oh, I want to work on my depth and feel contact, and then that way you can rest at the bottom right here and sit. Again, feet are facing forward, tight core, and holding. And with the block, you can do it on different ranges of motion. So again, this is a little bit higher, and then of course vertical would be the highest, just to help work those hips into a deep squat position. So those are my 3 favorite mobility type exercises for getting our pistol squat. And now we'll get into our exercises in terms of a very beginner level when you're getting into your pistols. So now moving on to the exercise portion. So again, these ones are for a very beginner level. So if you're someone who's never done a pistol squat before, this is the exercises you want to start with. So very first, we're going to work, of course, our single strength. So we want to do our lunges. So we're going to do reverse lunges, so stepping backwards. Dumbbells on both hands, keeping the weight in that front leg. We're going to step backwards, knee just above the ground, and then driving up back to a standing position. So for reverse lunges, for exercises, I always say around 12 to 15 reps. Again, working on being nice and slow and proper form. With this one, you can easily increase the difficulty with either slowing down the tempo or even increasing the weights. Or you can also add like a foam pad underneath your foot so that way you're increasing the balance component, which is also very important with pistols. Another exercise that I like in terms of pistol squats is working your box squat. So we're gonna grab our box. Depending on how, again, strong you are with your single leg strength, you might have to start with a taller surface and then slowly work our way down. So we're gonna start with our leg, foot out. We're gonna sit down on the box, full contact, keeping that leg nice and high because we wanna train that right off the bat, leaning forward and driving up with that supporting leg. So down and up. Really important things that we wanna consider here. Again, we don't want the back foot coming up into a heel, like on your tippy toe. We want to make sure this foot stays nice and flat. We're leaning forward and driving up. Try the best as you can, even as a beginner, to not let this leg drop when you stand, just because when you go into further exercises, it's just going to create a bad habit. So always keep that leg up and maintain the same position all the way down and all the way up. Again, just like our mobility exercises, all of our actual strength exercises will be done on both sides. However, for this video, we're just going to go through one side. So that was our box squats and our lunges. And the next one we're gonna do is we're gonna work on just our overall strength in that bottom portion of the position. So sitting down here, you can use a little bit of balance here if you need to. We're gonna raise this leg up for pulses for 10. So roughly go around for about 5 more. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The next one we're gonna do is we're trying to actually lift our bum off the ground. So again, using this as support, we're gonna try to pull ourselves as close as we can. And if this is as far as you can go as a beginner, that's totally fine. But if you can kind of pop yourself up and then back down. So again, pulling yourself over that heel and then rising and then lifting and back down. Depending again on your ankle mobility, you might just be able to get super close and then relax it back. So this is what a true beginner would look like with this exercise versus being able to get a little bit of lift off that ground. As you get stronger in that leg, you'd be able to remove the arm. Again, leaning forward, super important, and then lifting up and then sitting back down. You can also just remove the arm right away and just try to lean into that leg. This is gonna help strengthen that bottom portion of our pistol squat. So things like being able to stand back up or even just getting into that lower position is gonna be really helpful with these 3 exercise drills. So in terms of other drills and stuff that you guys wanna see, I'm gonna make an episode number 2 for more of an intermediate level, but this was just for beginners. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And of course, if you guys wanna do more exercises or more workouts that are designed towards pistol squats or any other advanced movements, I do have my app where there's gymnastics training programs, mobility, HIIT, all that fun stuff, and that way you guys have easy access to it all and can do any type of program that you're looking for.